All right, guys, welcome back. Oh, everything's falling off. I have this extra phone with my notes on it. I've got this water bottle. But today's video is going to be answering a question. The only question I actually got in the comments from like a couple videos back. And it was asking what the differences are between the Marines and the YPG, which is a militia that I'm in right now. Really, really good question. A lot of you thought so as well. So I will be answering that right now after this drink of water. All right. I have a couple of notes written down on this phone that I have. And it was basically just me putting comparisons and also differences between the two. Yeah, this should be a really cool video. So the first thing that I've written down as a difference is rank structure, right? If you guys noticed, I don't have any rank. Usually it's on a collar, and no, there's no ranks in a militia. This might come as a surprise, I don't know. Obviously there's like leadership positions, but there's no ranks. That is a big difference because when it comes to the front line and stuff, you like in the Marine Corps, everything is rank structured. Like even when you're just walking around on base, like just back home in the US, like if you don't say good afternoon, sergeant or whatever, if you don't respect them by their rank, it's like, it's a big deal. And especially in the front line, right? Like if you don't follow their orders, it's a big deal. So, yeah, that's quite a big difference that I've realized so far from being in a militia compared to the Marines. The next thing that I've written down is dogmatism. Now, I had to look that word up to go and find out the feeling that I was feeling inside, and Wikipedia told me it was dogmatism. So basically what this means, I'll give you guys a Webster dictionary definition before I bootleg it, but basically what it means is like an organization's stance on a certain idea or something, and like where their values lie. And if you don't follow those values and you're part of that organization, you'll be sort of ostracized. And I'm not gonna define ostracize for you guys. You guys can look that up yourself. But yes, that is very much the culture in a militia. All right, so think about it. Unlike the Marines, where like it's a state-sponsored military where you join and you can join for whatever reason you want. You can be left-leaning, you can be right-leaning, you can join because you want to kill ISIS. You can join because you want free college. I mean, it doesn't matter. Everybody's on the same page. But in a militia, think about it. Again, the reason it exists is because it's different than the status quo, which the government in the military has. It has a very specific structure of values that's like you sort of have to believe, or they expect you to believe in, right? Now with the YPG, there are a lot of things that I believe in it, but I didn't realize how dogmatic it would be, the culture here, right? So I got here and I was like, hey, I want to fight ISIS, I want to fight jihadists, I want to defend the women's revolution, especially in an area like Syria. And so far, it's a really beautiful thing. But there are some deeper things, deeper values within the organization that I wasn't expecting. And it was definitely quite a turnoff for them when I came here. And I was like, I don't lean that way that much. So, yeah, that's something to think about when you join. Just make sure, when you join, if you join some sort of militia. You just got to know the beliefs that they have, because it's going to be very different than what you probably expect. Now, the next thing I've written down is gear. Guys, the first thing I want to show you regarding gear is my rifle, right? Really, really good rifle, especially for a militia you'd expect. But it was made in 1977. It's got the star, too. Wow. I believe that's a Soviet star or something. I don't know. It's obviously from Russia. That's why we still use it, because it's, it's pretty old. How many years is that? 40 years? Older than 40 years. Almost 50, right? There are rifles much older than that we still use, because they still work. But if you think about it, like in the Marines, you have new gear, sort of. Like usually it's only like a decade old, and like that's what we call old. We're like, wow, the Marines is the least funded organization in the armed forces. And we, the Marines do pride themselves in being able to get the job done with as little gear as possible, or as worst gear as possible, and they do. But the thing is, it's a much drastic difference in a militia, at least in my case. Like, take for instance these camis, right? Not this, because this is just one that somebody brought and it's like made of cotton. But oh man, I'm standing on rocks. But these trousers right here, I don't know if you guys can see, but they are falling apart. They are made of plastic, believe it or not. I'm not kidding. The reason I found this out is one of the first days I was here in Syria was it was raining. And what had happened was instead of falling asleep in rainy clothes, I decided to put them next to the heater, which, you know, on any regular laundry, it would just evaporate off and it would be very warm. For this one, it evaporated off and it was very warm, but it started to melt. And I was like, what? I got this black stuff on my fingers. I was like, oh. And it totally ruined my trousers. And I was like, what is going on? And then some of the guys who were here for a while, they're like, oh, it's made of plastic, man. Like, I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, it's made of plastic. So all those pictures you see of the YPG, and you're like, wow, they have marine camo. They look really cool. Hey, man, it's a militia. Like, they get away with looking cool, but like the gear that we have are decades old. You know, we have to take care of it. Yeah, so I can't go into too much detail regarding like the gear situation. You know, like I don't want to tell everybody in the world what we have, but yeah, that's sort of the case, right? Going on that, the next thing that I have is logistical stuff, right? So what I mean by that is like in the Marines, right? You will always have access to water, usually, right? You will always have access to water, clean water, if not in a day or two. You will have nice food as well. MREs are nice. They're really nice. I don't know if you guys ever tried one, but I recommend it. They're like $7 at Joe's Army Navy. Buy one. It's really nice. In a militia, you're not going to have that much logistical support. I remember the first month I was here, it was very, very scary because, well, I mean, it wasn't, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it was scary. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend I'm some big shot. Like, I got here, and the first month I'm here, I'm being told that there are jihadists from the north that are going to be pushing in with they're Turkish-backed jihadists. And I was like, what? We're getting invaded? And we were like fighting ISIS, and now we're going to be invaded from the north. So we were told that is like imminent. It is happening in a couple weeks. So what our organization did was they were just keeping all the food and stuff, and they were keeping it in storage cells or whatever, getting ready for this invasion so they can you know, supply us during the assaults. Now, what this meant for us is that for the next month, my first month here, we weren't eating well at all. We were eating just spaghetti, some tomatoes, a little bit of olives depending on the day, and bread. I'm not kidding. That's all we had for like a month. And the bread, what we would do is we'd cook it in oil in the morning, and then we just put some sugar on it, and that was our breakfast. I mean, that was like considered a very good breakfast too. And I actually have this picture at the end of that month that we took, and you can kind of see how chiseled my face is, just from not eating well, being malnourished, some may say. So yes, big difference, you know, logistically from the Marines. Not only that, but like access to clean water and stuff that goes out all the time. Electricity, this stuff is they are nice to have, but you probably won't have them all the time in a militia. Just be prepared for that. The next thing, and actually the last thing that I have, I might make a part two, but we'll see. The last thing I have is job roles. Those stay the same, believe it or not. Obviously, I remember also when I first got here, after I ruined one of my shirts, I was like, oh, can I have a shirt? And then one of the guys who was leaving gave me a blue shirt. And I was walking around and I was like, oh, I'm the YPG Navy. And, you know, like people were like, what the, yeah, stupid. But yeah, like obviously we don't have a Navy. Obviously we don't have an Air Force. But as far as the infantry aspect goes, we are the same as the Marines. We really are. I'm a machine gunner in the YPG. We have riflemen. We have snipers. We have marksmen. We have, I'm sure there's mortarmen. I don't know any. But we have like the infantry. There's like, you have a specific job and you follow it. In the Marines, it goes the same way, obviously. There's riflemen, there's machine gunners, rocketeers, those go both ways as well. Infantry is the same. Very, very interesting. You know, sometimes I was wondering, like, okay, am I just going to have an AK and just be, you know, nothing else? But no, I mean, we have frags, we have everything we could ever need. And I've got a Bixie, also called a PKM. It's all good, man. It's all good. All right, so anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment and a like. The comment, I would like if it was another question, because I like answering the questions from the comments. So, guys, stay motivated and take care.